think it's over now. You're wrong.
All aboard the night train.
It's over, Prime.
This is the siege.
I'm a man of my word.
Hey. Yeah. Dead or alive, consider this home. No killing the vibe in the Nightwatch zone. Xenomorphs hype when the lights come on. Hit like and subscribe and the show might blow. Go viral, no COVID. It's a spiral emotions. Hand on the Bible. Only go sign and the dopest your vitals. Better tune in, yeah, you know it's vital. From Schwarzenegger to Kane Hodder. Corey G down to Harry Potter. Shit's Sigourney Weaver, love the Nightwatch zone. Come with me to the Nightwatch zone.
Well, there are two things a man should never run from, even if they cost him his life.
Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, the return to Battleworld. And yeah, different night, but the same thing going on. Coriander's with me, of course, and we got Eric. And guys, we're ready to rock and roll in Battleworld the day after Halloween. How's it going?
Doing good. Glad to be back.
Yeah. I know. It's like to be back in the saddle, man. I'm really excited for this one. We have a great show tonight. But real quick, just to say hey to you guys in the live chat, a blanket hello to all of you guys. We see you guys, and thank you so much for being here. Even though we're on a different night, man. I love it. Dino, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We got Danielle's in the chat. Nightfall is in the chat. Said, yes, my suggestion comes to life. See, that's what I'm talking about. Nightfall, and thank you so much for that.
Yeah, make those suggestions. I write them down during the stream, so have at it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. And he said, wish I could be on the panel. Well, maybe at some point down the road. I mean, especially for you members, on certain levels, definitely something that we can try to do in the future. Hopefully we can. Let's see who else we got. K-Rock, what's up? K-Rock's media channel in the house.
Hey.
What's up, Jack? Good to see you too. Hope you're doing well. Paula's in the chat. What's going on, Paula? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well tonight. The general is in the house. What's up, Val?
Hey, Val.
Hey, Val.
You. Hope you're doing well. And Russell has a channel member's anniversary, 3 months as a part of that inner circle. Thank you so much, Russell. We appreciate you, man. Saying this is the best community. I smashed the like button. This will be an interesting battle. Go, Tony Todd. Money's on Candyman. I hear you. Val also saying it's going to be a great battle. I think so too. And look at this. The queen is in the house, and she also has a channel member anniversary. 9 months. Sarah, you're almost at a year. That's absolutely awesome.
Very cool.
Sarah, seriously, we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for your support and your help and inspiration and everything you do, not only here at the Nightwatch Zone, but in
everywhere you go.
Absolutely. She says, so thankful to have found this community. We're so thankful that you found it.
Yes, thank you, Queen. Thank you to the Queen.
Bow down, bitches, right? Julie's in the chat. What's going on, Julie? Good to see you.
Hey.
My man Dominic's in the chat. Lady Luna. All right. You guys are all right.
Full house.
So happy to see you guys here. Melissa as well. All right.
Hey.
Very, very cool. So you guys know how we do this thing. And Jose, the mayor's in the house. What's up?
Right.
What's up?
Very cool.
My man. For the rest of you guys jumping in, definitely a blanket hello to everyone. Let's get down to brass tacks. Also saying hey to our good friend, Mr. Dan. Well. What's up? Predicting. Hey. All right. He's predicting. All right. So tonight's going to be a crazy night, but let's find out officially who we have coming into Battleworld. And Coriander, I am going to start with you. Who do we have in corner number 1 for tonight's Battleworld fight?
Well, Knight, myths and legends are truly scary as shit, and this horror icon doesn't disappoint. He is the writing on the wall, the whisper in the classroom. You know the rest. And you may want to say his name, but you shouldn't. So tonight on Battleworld, here is Candyman, 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 Candyman. Oh, hell no, I ain't saying it.
Smart girl.
She is smart. She's very smart. All right. Very, very cool. And Eric, who do we have in the other corner, brother?
Well, we know there's many ways to summon a creature from hell, right? There's a Ouija boards, there's seances, but who'd have thought about a puzzle box, right? Right. That's what's used in this film when someone is seeking ultimate pleasure. Too bad for them that the monsters are bringing ultimate pain. They're known as angels to some, but demons to other. It's all a matter of perspective. And if I were you guys, I'd stick to the Rubik's Cube when it comes to solving puzzle boxes, because these things will tear your soul apart. Representing Hellraiser, we have Pinhead and his Cenobites.
There it is. And real quick, we also got Ronan in the chat. He's got a channel member anniversary. 9 months for Ronan as
Very
well.
cool. Good for you, bud.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Here's to another 9 months. All right. Very, very cool. And the mayor, the bearded one, a 10-month channel anniversary. We have so many that are here.
Wow.
All right.
That's awesome.
Eric's going with Hellraiser. Eric, we're going to see how this thing goes, man. Jack also with a channel member anniversary. 2 months for you, Jack, saying it's been an awesome 2 months. I need to get on the panel. All right, man. Thank you so much for being here too, man. Seriously, good to see you here. Melissa as well, 5-month channel member anniversary. Truly one best channel. So glad found this fam. Thank you so much as well, Melissa. We appreciate all of you guys being here and being in the chats and helping to support us. It really makes a huge difference. It really, really does. Well, I'm going to give some of Kill's commentary tonight. This is absolutely something that we have been wanting to do, and Nightfall definitely with a great suggestion, but we wanted to talk about some of these other icons. And I think this is a really interesting matchup. We watch these movies, before we do the Battleworld episode, and there was just so many different parallels. It's absolutely crazy, even though they're two different types of films, both from the mind of Clive Barker, though. So, I think I hear something. I think I hear them coming. So that means you guys in the chat, you guys in the live replay, sit back, relax, and let's head to Battleworld.
Helen. Be my victim.
We have such sights to show you.
Yes. Hey, look, can I just say something? I'm already getting hyped up. Shout out to Doug Bradley and to the great Tony Todd. Both of them are icons. When they speak, you listen.
Right.
You really, really do. So what we're going to do, guys, as we always do, we're going to break this down category by category. You guys in the chat definitely let us know what your thoughts are category by category. And as always, if you do decide to do a super chat, then your super chat will go as points to the movie of your choice. So if you do a $3 super chat, it's 3 points to your movie. So let's get ready to start this thing off. I know you guys are really, really excited about this. And before we even start, we've got wow. Oh man. Wow. Jack coming in a $15 super chat.
Good Lord.
Oh my God, man. Thanks. Starting it off, rooting for the master of puzzles, Pinhead, baby. Wow, man. So, all right, let me put that down. Hellraiser is already at 50. We haven't even started. I think that's the first time we've had that happen. Holy crap.
Good night, everybody. We're done.
Well, you never know. You never know.
That's true.
Hey,
That's
look,
true.
The thing about Battleworld, we've seen this many times with people like Sir James and Neil and Sarah and other people, Jack, Scott. Look, man, if you are a fan of one of these movies, just you know what you got to do.
It's true.
But Jack, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you seriously.
Yep.
And on the heels of Jack, Nightfall's coming in. Wow. Now this is crazy. $20 super chat. Thanks so much, man. We really appreciate that. Seriously. He says, thank you for using my suggestion. Split my vote. This is the first time ever on Battleworld we have a split vote. That is absolutely crazy and amazing. Right? He says 15 for Candyman, 5 for Hellraiser. All right.
Okay, that's cool.
All right. Well, Candyman's on the board. Candyman is already, this is going to be, wow. Seriously. But seriously, both of you guys, thank you so much for the support. Even before we actually begin, you guys are all right. And so you know what we got to do.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Gotta work that ass for daddy.
Yeah. Good one.
Eric's shaking his head. I love it. Oh, I miss doing these episodes, man. Seriously. Oh, Lord, that was great. All right. So let's get going, man. So first category, Eric, as always, we got to start this thing out bit by bit. So we're starting out with the poster. Okay, with the poster. Now, here's the poster for Candyman, and here is the poster for Hellraiser. So what do you think, and who's getting the point, Eric?
Like them both. If you haven't read the source material, you don't know what's going on with either one of them. But I'm going to go with Candyman. The reason why is we know the Hellraiser poster is a monster, regardless. You know what I mean? First off, we don't know what is going on in this poster. We have a mysterious figure in an eyeball with a bee. You know what I mean? So they're all going to mix together. But what I really love, honestly, I love the white poster. You know, the white of the skin is like porcelain white, and then the offset of like the yellow and just the colors in the eyes. And I just think that's great.
Yeah. All right. Very, very cool.
I'd want it on my wall.
Yes,
right?
yes. And that's, of course, a good point is when we give a point, it's usually because we'd want that poster on the wall, man. Luna said, I don't think I was prepared enough for my first time seeing that. That's right.
You never are.
That's right. You never are. Paul is going with Candyman. Jose is going with Hellraiser. Dominic's going Candyman. Russell is going with Candyman. All right. Let's see. Nightfall is going with Candyman. Danielle's going with Candyman. Val's going with Candyman. We got D in the chat saying he's going with Candyman. All right. Okay. Looking pretty good here. And also we have Sarah coming in trying to help the battle out here. Thank you so much, Sarah. $5 super chat, and absolutely appreciate it. Amazing. Saying trying to keep to stay in the game. 5 more for Candyman. All right.
There we go.
He needed it. He needs it. He really needs it. Okay. Thank you so much, Sarah. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And also just to say, happy birthday to Sarah, because she is a Halloween baby.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, but Coriander, how about you? Which poster are you going with?
Yeah, I have to go with Candyman also. Um, I, it's just, yeah, a awesome poster. And I love his silhouette and as the pupil and the
Mm-hmm.
red background. It's like it's almost shaped, like a beehive. It's like awesome. And I love the bee right there on the eyeball. It's just cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hellraiser's pretty good, but
Yeah.
this is just no. This is it for me.
Okay. All right. Now for me, this is really difficult, man. And I remember the first time I saw both of these, renting them at the video store, and they're two different types of posters. They're both great, right? One is definitely more mysterious. And I remember first seeing the Hellraiser cover, this poster, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it just grabbed my attention seeing Pinhead there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna give my point to Candyman. And you guys made some really good points. What I love about it is the mystery. And when I first saw this, I had no idea what the movie was about at first, right? But I was thinking, what the hell is the bee doing there? The
Mm-hmm.
bee was the thing that really caught me. The eye and the silhouette were just so cool, especially the eye being red and you see that silhouette. And I also love the font for Candyman. It just
Yeah.
really it stands out. But I kept thinking, what's up with that goddamn bee? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Candyman on that as well. All right. In the chat, Dan and Luna both going with Candyman. All right. And Eric's coming in, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Saying raise that 10 for the priest. Oh, we got another one for Hellraiser.
Uh-oh.
Wow. I did not expect you guys for Candyman. Holy crap.
I know.
This is
Wow.
wow.
I'm
This is one of
surprised.
I am too.
now this is I think our 20th episode,
Oh,
I
wow.
believe, or close to that. I've never seen it start off like this. Holy crap. Holy crap. Okay, next up, Eric.
Okay.
We're going to go to the tagline. So the tagline for Hellraiser is demons to some, angels to other. Hellraiser, he'll tear your soul apart. Okay. And then for Candyman, oops, let me back up there a little bit. For Candyman, it's we dare you to say his name 5 times.
In honor of Killian not being here, I will say this is easy street. I'm going with Candyman. Hellraiser is good, but what I like about Candyman is that the use of the word dare. You know what I mean? That's really that oomph. You know what I mean? Like we dare you to do this. So okay,
Yes.
what is going to happen if we say it for his name 5 times? We get it. Pinhead's a demon or an angel, whatever, and he's going to rip us apart, our soul. But someone's daring us to do something to conjure this guy. So
right. Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Coriander?
Yeah, I gotta go with Candyman also. It reminds you of Bloody Mary. Who didn't do that as a kid? So that instantly makes you think like, okay, yeah, totally.
Right.
Candyman.
All right. Okay. Jose says you only get 10 minutes of Pinhead. It's funny how time can change perspective, doesn't it? For this one, this was easy for me as well. I'm going with Candyman. And again, it's the mystery of it, but also, Coriander, you hit it right on the nail. The whole idea of like Bloody Mary and stuff like that. And it's short and sweet, mysterious, and it just hits me. We dare you to say his name 5 times. I absolutely love it. It's just one of those, and that's stuck with me forever, ever since I first saw this movie back in friggin' 92, man. It's absolutely crazy. Real quick, let me jump into the chat. Let's see. Jose is going with Candyman. Luna saying definitely Candyman. It's suspenseful and enticing. It's almost like saying, don't press the big red button.
I like that.
Right? I love that. Let's see. Wayne's going with Candyman, saying straight to the point. Hellraiser is too long. All right. Troy's in the chat saying Hellraiser for me. Love the dichotomy. Candyman feels like a Bloody Mary derivative. Okay. All right. And by the way, if you guys have not hit the like button, please do. It helps to support the channel. We'd appreciate it. And let's see. And Jack, I haven't checked my email yet though, but I will. I will. Okay, guys. We're going to go to our next category. And Eric, that will be the opening. The opening of the movie, as always, we talk about the first couple minutes. It could be up to the first 15 minutes or so, but basically that big thing, usually it's a big thing that happens in the beginning of the film. So what's your take on it? Who's getting the point?
This is tough because I like both of them. I'm going to go with Hellraiser, and here's why. Okay. The opening to Candyman is great with the overhead shot and the bees behind the building, and then I guess you see the urban legend story being told. Yeah. But what I like about Hellraiser is the brutality, and it really sets you up that you're in for some sick shit. You know what I mean? When Frank is basically getting ripped apart, he's opening the puzzle box, he gets hooked, he gets destroyed, and then you have the Pillar of Souls, and then the mysterious I think it's I don't know if I don't remember if it's Pinhead, but I know the female's there, and they're putting Frank's face back together. So now I'm just wondering where the hell, if we're starting off like this, where the hell we're going to go. So I think it sets it up more for me.
All right. Okay. How about you, Coriander?
I do enjoy the beginning of Candyman, but I do have to agree with Eric with the opening to Hellraiser. I mean, that opening scene with Frank, that drew me in, and that makes you like, whoa, this is going to be good, So, yeah.
No, absolutely. Well said. And for me, it's really, this is difficult because I think the thing with Candyman is an opening. First of all, it's just beautiful cinematography. It's beautiful cinematography and a lot of other things which we won't talk about yet. But then when you get into the whole idea of telling this myth, this legend, it's almost similar to like Friday 2 when they're sitting around the campfire and telling, the story of Jason, and I absolutely love those types of scenes in movies if they're done well. And this one is done really well. And shout out to Ted Raimi as well. But I got to go with Hellraiser. And the reason I'm going to go with Hellraiser, you guys said it really well. There's mystery to it, but it's also intense. Frank, it's kind of like, okay, what's happening? And then you're like, okay, right. That just happened. Like you said, Eric, what's next? So I think that Hellraiser does a really good job to set you up.
Uh-oh. Candyman wasn't happy and he got him.
Oh, man. That's not good.
Well, all right. Well, one thing I do want to say is, I do appreciate Knight's shout out to Ted Raimi. But the funny thing is,
yes,
no offense, who's ever going to buy Ted Raimi as the bad boy? He walks in, tries to seduce the girl on his motorcycle and everything. That's just me. I think they could have casted him a little bit better, but I do love Ted.
Yeah, that's true too. Absolutely, no doubt. Okay, all right. Let's go to our next category. We're gonna go with music. We're gonna go with the music, Eric. So, what are your thoughts on the music?
Oh, they're both great. They both set the mood. They're both perfect for the scenes that they're used. But I gotta go with, I think it's Philip Glass and Candyman.
Yes.
That's. Here's how I'll keep it short and sweet. There's great music in Hellraiser. There's iconic music in Candyman. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, Eric said it perfectly. So definitely Candyman.
Okay. The music in both are great, man. They really, really are. This is how I'm going to make the distinction. Now you've got Christopher Young who did the music in Hellraiser, and there's some great stuff in it. Even just when the Cenobites first come, that That's great, man. It's almost, it reminds me of something like a John Carpenter Sting in Halloween,
Hmm.
and I absolutely love it. And then there's just a lot of just intense music. It's dark and so forth. And then you have Philip Glass. It's much more of a classical haunting type of score, and also a romantic score, Helen's theme and so forth.
Hmm.
Um, and Eric, you said it so well to differentiate the two. I gotta go with Candyman. I I'm gonna tell it to you like this. I loved that music in Candyman so much. I remember as a kid watching it at home after we rented, and sometimes I would just play
Hmm.
certain parts of the movie just to hear the music.
Yep.
That's how much I enjoy the music. Matter of fact, I do have the theme and stuff, on my, on my MP3 and so forth. And during the Halloween season, playing scary music and stuff like that, that's one of them.
Hmm.
So I gotta go with Philip Glass on this. It was just haunting what he did with this film, but also a romantic side to it as well.
Yeah, what's great about this is like the Hellraiser music is really really good, but Candyman has music that when you hear it, you want to search it out to find out who
Yes.
did it and where you can listen to it. So that's what I think makes it
Mm.
better.
Yes, absolutely. No doubt about that at all. Melissa is going with Candyman for music. Nightfall's going with Candyman. D is going with Candyman. We got a lot of Candyman here.
Mm.
Ronan's sitting this one out, not choosing. Russell's going with Candyman. Danielle's going with Candyman. Well, we got a lot of Candyman on this one. You guys are going to have to help Candyman out, though. I'll tell you that. Kenny's in the chat. What's up,
Hey.
Kenny?
Hey,
Saying, hey,
Kenny.
guys. Good to see you. Let's see. Gina is going with Candyman. All right. Luna's going with Candyman. Ronan saying Hellraiser makes me feel uneasy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Troy is going with Candyman. All right. Let's see. Just trying to catch up to you guys. Unstable's in the chat. What's up? Good to see you. Let's see. Val saying, I'm with you, Ronan. I don't really remember the music on either of these. Oh, Val, you gotta watch. Well, you gotta watch both of them, but I think as far as music, Candyman's music is really, really good.
Mm.
Very, very
Mhm.
good. Okay. All right. So let's go to our next category, Eric. Next category is the supporting characters. The supporting characters. So obviously that does not include Kirsty or Helen.
I'm gonna go with Candyman.
Ooh, okay.
I like Julia in Hellraiser. She's the only one that I really am interested in. I like them. I like the other characters in Candyman more. I love Bernadette.
Mhm.
I love Vanessa Williams' character. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. Um, but she's really really good. The one who's the mother with the
Yeah.
child's taken away. She's really really good.
Mhm.
And as much of a piece of trash as he is, Helen's
Xander
husband.
Berkeley.
Yeah.
Xander Berkeley.
You know what I mean? You're waiting for him to get his comeuppance in this type of film.
Mm.
So I think there's more use of and better use of the supporting characters in Candyman.
Okay. All right. How about you, Coriander?
Yeah, I agree with Eric. Because what is, that chick doing there? The stepmom, all she's doing is bringing bodies, and all these other people. You feel for these characters. Did I really feel for any of these people in Hellraiser? No. I was just looking
Mhm.
forward to, who's going to get ripped apart next.
Mhm.
So,
Oh,
Yeah.
can't forget little Jake
Um,
in Candyman as well. I liked him too.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true too.
Yep.
For me, I think both movies have some good supporting characters, but I'm gonna go with Hellraiser on this one. And the
Mm.
reason I'm gonna do that, because I think, first of all, Claire Higgins as Julia was just devious
Mhm.
in her role. Frank, and obviously, the whole thing with taking over his brother's body and all that, and just enticing Julia to do what she did. I just found them fascinating. They just stand out more to me. And
Okay.
I remember even when I first saw it, it just struck me, man. It really, really did. And especially seeing Frank as he's coming back, in the different stages of reforming and stuff like that. So I gotta go with Hellraiser on this one.
Okay.
All right. Um, Ronan going with Hellraiser. Friday is in the chat. What's up? Saying supporting the Cenobites. All right. Troy going with Hellraiser. All right. Let's see. Saying Frank and Julia win it for me. They are the true villains. Exactly. Nightfall going with Hellraiser. Uncle Frank. Okay. All right. Luna going with Candyman. Val going with Candyman. Saying more memorable, likable. Julia was just a bitch. And her dad was wimpy. There you go. Oh my god. Denisha's in the chat. What's going on,
Hey,
Denisha? Good
Denisha.
to see you. Hope you're doing well. And again, if you guys haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support the stream. And also, and Val, if you're able to, or Sarah, to let us know how the likes are going, that'd be great. Let's go to our next category. The acting. Okay, Eric, what do you think?
Oh, this is easy street. It's Candyman. Other than Julia and other than Doug Bradley as Pinhead, I think a lot of the characters are either kind of mediocre or kind of bad. I don't think there's a single bad performance for what they're supposed to do in Candyman. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Tony Todd's untouchable in this movie, and then Virginia Madsen she's like neck and neck with him here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you add in the other characters. It's top notch acting in Candyman. No contest.
All right. How about you, Coriander?
Yeah, I have to go with Candyman. I mean, when Helen was actually like hypnotized in that scene,
yes.
I mean, that was incredible. I mean, yeah, just in that performance there. I mean, plus Candyman, you know, his voice, he's very sensual, and you know, he's just a great, you know, horror icon. That how many can you say are sensual? Not too many. So yeah, you know, I just think they both did such, you know, great performances in this. So yeah.
Okay. Candyman. All right. For me, I also have to go with Candyman, and I'm gonna tell you why. Even without Tony Todd, which obviously he was just fantastic. Tony Todd is basically Dracula. Okay. That's what's going on here, you know, for folks if you're not as familiar with Candyman. And Tony Todd definitely embraced that. You know, he that's how he is, you know, attracting Helen. That's how, you know, the hypnotism and all that. And by the way, Virginia Madsen said she would never do that ever again. She was really hypnotized. But you can tell in that scene in the parking garage, the look on her face is just totally different. She is hypnotized.
It's blank.
Bro.
Yep.
It's great. So, you know, Tony Todd, obviously we know what's going on, but taking him out of the equation, Virginia Madsen was amazing in this film. Xander Berkeley was great too. You know, he really, really was. And like you said, Bernadette, the kid, everybody was just really, really good. The film to this day, you know, this film was back in 92, Hellraiser was 87, but even to this day, when you watch Candyman, it feels real. It feels grounded. It feels gritty. And a big part of that is because of the acting of the cast, and especially the chemistry between Virginia and Tony, you know, and it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. So this one was an easy one for me. Real quick in the chat, Lady Luna was going, and yes, D, she was really hypnotized. We were just talking about that. Lady Luna is going with Candyman for the acting. Troy saying acting Candyman easily. All right. Let's see. And we got Ronan gifting a membership. All right.
Oh, nice.
Thank you so much. Bro, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate that. And I'm not sure exactly who get it. StreamYard still doesn't show that, but it looks like Pizza Face. All right. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the community. Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. And Ronan, thank you so much for gifting that. It really, as you know, helps us out a lot, bro. We appreciate you so much. And Lighting Ghost has a channel member anniversary. 3 months. All right, Lighting Ghost. Congrats, man. Congrats. And he's giving us the hearts, man. Love it. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being part of this community. We really, really appreciate it so much. So let's play another clip here. Here we go.
Where's my little piggy? Who's my little piggy?
I am.
Yes, that's right.
And you don't stop, sure shot, go out to the parking lot. And you get in your car and you drive real far and you drive all night, then you see a light.
Yeah. There
What the hell was that at the end?
What?
I've never seen that
What?
one before. Where the singing and the
haven't?
dance? No, I've never seen that one before. Good God.
That was good.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I want to know,
Just seeing you shake your
but I
head.
don't want to know how you come up with the ideas for this shit, dude. But
I don't know, man. I just have, I don't know. It's just, hey. Julie's cracking up. It's good stuff, man. Val saying, "Oh my God, we haven't seen those in a while." Yeah, I know. Well, hey, when we get the super chats, I try to. Ronan saying, "Everyone, remember to turn on auto renewal. The gifted memberships also hit the thumbs up, or I'm gonna send Pinhead after you." Just joking. Love y'all. Yes, absolutely. For you guys that have gotten gifted memberships, definitely, hopefully you choose to put on the auto renewal. We appreciate that, seriously. All right, let's go to our next category as Eric gets himself together.
I'm trying.
The story. What are your thoughts on the story, and who are you going to give the point to?
Again, Easy Street, Candyman. There's more to it. It's pretty, it sounds weird saying this. The Hellraiser plot is pretty simple. You know what I mean? Frank escapes hell. He needs bodies. Pinhead comes and gets him in the end. We have a Candyman backstory. We have ghost stories. We have Helen being framed for murder. We have Helen dealing with her husband. Helen dealing with the community in Cabrini Green. There's so much more in the story, and it all flows perfectly. There's no choppiness, no nothing. It was like lightning in a bottle to me. It's like one of the most perfect stories in a horror movie for me personally.
All right. Now, how about you, Coriander?
I agree. Eric, you're so good at this, and I kind of like going after you because it's like he said it, and
I'm picking you first, man.
Yeah, no, and I just like how, like I said, he's his voice, and he's so soft and gentle, but with that hook, he's just gonna rip you apart. But he makes it sound like, oh, but you can rip me apart, take me. So, all I know is, this story is like, 10 times better.
Calling him Dracula is like the perfect analogy, I think.
Well, it is. I mean, Tony Todd has basically has said that, talking about the approach as far as, just like Dracula, just like a vampire, seducing their victim before they turn them. And it's the same idea. Obviously, it's different, because now it's, in modern day, and it's an urban myth and all that type of stuff. But that's kind of how he approached it. Very classical Phantom of the Opera type of thing. I mean, Tony Todd,
and it works,
to be quite honest. Yeah. And to be quite honest, I'm absolutely flabbergasted and amazed and also frustrated that he didn't get a higher platform after Candyman. I mean, because he's done some great stuff for sure, but I definitely think his talent is just so top tier that there should have been more things available for him to be in that spotlight. But we do have the few things we do, and I'm glad for that. So I say all that to say, yes, story, I'm going with Candyman as well. And you guys said it. There's more to it, but it also feels like something that is real. When I saw this as a kid, I'm not sitting there saying, I believe it's real, but it creeped me out so much, and it felt like it was real because, like you said earlier, Coriander, the whole idea of Bloody Mary, you know what I mean? And this felt like this was like a cousin story, a parallel story. So I just think that it's fantastic. Whereas with Hellraiser, and sometimes it's great to be simple, right? But with Hellraiser, to me, the story of it doesn't hit as hard. You know what I mean? So I'm going with Candyman as well.
What helps for me also is, you said more real. We don't really know where Hellraiser takes place. We know
Mhm.
Candyman is Chicago. You know, I'm an hour from Chicago. I'm in Illinois. I've been to Chicago many times. I know of Cabrini Green when it was around, so that makes the
Mhm.
story more personal to me and more real. So
Mm.
that helped me personally a lot as well.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep.
Mm.
And Dominic, yes, he did do The Crow after. He was great in The Crow, man. And
Mhm.
The Crow is the movie I've seen the most I saw The Crow in the theater like 8 times, bro. It was crazy. I
Wow.
love that movie so much. Big Brandon Lee fan. Rest in peace to Brandon Lee.
Same here.
And Lady Luna also has a channel member anniversary.
Very
Congrats,
cool.
Lady Luna.
Awesome.
1 month, saying first official month down. Auto renew might not have been on before, but it definitely is now. Appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you so
Oh,
much,
thank
Luna. We
you.
appreciate you
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
awesome.
We really, really do. Yeah, no doubt. Let's see. Julie saying, sorry if someone had said this already, but I believe Tony Todd plays Venom in the new Spider-Man game. I didn't know that.
He'd be perfect if he does.
True enough. Luna's also going with Candyman for the story. All right. Let's see. Troy saying story, I got Candyman. Hellraiser is a bit better than you all are saying, though. It's a good story. I'm definitely not saying it's
Yeah,
not good, but
yeah,
you know, when I'm comparing it to Candyman, it doesn't get my
yeah,
point.
Yeah.
But I
yeah.
love Hellraiser.
Right?
Hellraiser.
Yeah, they're both great movies. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they're really good. You know, so yeah,
Oh, they are. They're
yeah.
classics, no doubt. Okay, so let's go to our next category. Let's see. The scarier threat, Eric. The scarier threat. Who do we got? Pinhead or Candyman? Both have to be summoned,
Yeah.
right? But
Cool.
let's just assume they are.
Yeah.
You know, because I know some people in the chat would say, well, I'm just not going to summon one of them. Assume that they've been summoned.
Okay, they're summoned here. The bigger threat to me is going to go to Hellraiser, strictly on there's more Cenobites. Candyman's a singular entity. We have 4 or 5 Cenobites in Hellraiser. Plus, if you want to throw it in, Julia and Frank as well. So there's more of a threat, in my opinion, in the Hellraiser movie than there are in Candyman.
Okay. All right. How about you, Coriander?
I mean, yeah, there's more of them, but I mean, you got Candyman just appearing behind shrinks and getting ripped in half. You know, he's taking babies and, you know, chopping off dogs' heads and, you know, just, yeah, he's been torturing and terrorizing people since what, the 1800s or something? 1900s, something like that. So, I mean, yeah, man, I'm gonna go with Candyman. I mean, you can put all those Cenobites in that box. You start twirling those dials and bye-bye, see ya. So, hell yeah. Candyman.
Right. Okay. For me, this is an interesting one because I think, and this is part of the reason why we wanted to do this episode, because there's parallels of these characters like being summoned, and they're both very, they're almost like classical type of villains, you know, kind of regal and so forth. But I got to go with Hellraiser on this. And the reason is, and I see some people in the chat saying, don't go to Chicago. It's like, we're going to assume they've been summoned.
Yep.
They've been summoned and you're facing them. But look, man, and we talked about this when we watched Hellraiser 4, which, you know, I'm still not over that. Look, Pinhead, it got silly as we went along. But for this first movie, man, he is getting down to brass tacks, man.
Yep.
And I mean, you've got chains and hooks and weird shit popping up wherever. It's almost like it's unlimited. Now, granted, you know, Candyman, it's freaky because it's like, what's happening? You're blacking out. You don't know. You can't control yourself, which is, of course, what happened to Helen. That was the thing that was really horrific about for her, is that she didn't even know what she was doing until it had already happened. Like when she killed Bernadette and stuff like that.
With the dog,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is, but man, I gotta go with Hellraiser on this because it's just like, man, I mean, look at him. Serious, man. All right. Let me jump to the chat real quick, catch up with these guys. Friday saying Hellraiser, they will keep torturing you in hell. That's right. You know, it's
True.
like
Yep.
it's not over.
Nothing is over.
Yeah, nothing is over.
Nothing.
Dominic going with Hellraiser. Lady Luna going with Hellraiser. Troy also going with Hellraiser. Let's see. Candyman seems more localized, whereas the demon angel from hell would be more relentless. Okay, all right. Let's see. And Jack's coming in. Jack's coming in again. All right. $20 super chat saying Hellraiser has 11 entries. Candyman has 3 or 4. Enough said. Pinhead for the win. Night, everyone. Just call it Nightwatch. Evil doesn't die tonight. Okay. Well,
Good night,
hey,
Jack.
it might be over. It might. We're gonna find out. And yeah, for you guys, for Candyman, he's gonna need some help. Holy crap! Thank you so much for that, Jack. Though we really appreciate the support, man. It means a lot and definitely helps out with the channel. All right, so we gotta play another one, guys, and you know what time it is. Here we go.
Come on, Sal. Tigers are playing. 2 nines. I never miss a game. Bitches leave.
Gee, Poppy. Bye.
There it is.
Much better.
You gotta have some clearance up in there, man. Yeah. Let's see. Danielle saying you all better give Pinhead a 100 or so more because Candyman is the man. Not according to the points so far.
That's true.
Right?
Val saying Pinhead is the scarier threat. Paul is going with Candyman. Nightfall's going with Hellraiser. All right. Let's see. Catching up to you guys. Melissa's going with Candyman. And let's see. You guys too funny. All right. So far, we're going to be going to our next category. After the scarier threat, Eric, we've got the atmosphere. The atmosphere of the movie. Which movie has the better atmosphere?
Ooh, that's tough.
Is it though?
It is for me because they're both great for different reasons. I'm going to go with Candyman. Here's why. Yeah, Hellraiser it has that creepiness. You know, it's dark, it's dirty, it's disgusting. But I like Candyman's better because it's more clean when we're outside of the bathroom and Cabrini Green and stuff like that. But it's more clean, it's more pretty, and I think that fits well with the Candyman character because you use the perfect word to describe him. He's regal. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's prim, he's proper, and I think that fits more with his persona when he's just trying to seduce Helen, and that works too. You know what I mean? Trying to seduce her in this pretty world. So I'm going with Candyman.
Okay. All right. How about you, Coriander?
I mean, is it pretty though? She's in this abandoned apartment building with, just crazy graffiti, and I mean, I don't know. And then she's
outside of Cabrini Green,
Yeah, but I have to go with Candyman also for the atmosphere. I mean, Hellraiser's good, but they're mainly in the house and sometimes some other place where, in Candyman, you're, all around. And, you like Eric was saying, you see her world and then you see the Cabrini world. And they're two different things. And it's crazy to, like what you were saying, you're not that far from there and you remember. So it's that's, I have to go with Candyman. So
all right. Paul is going with Candyman. Melissa's going with Candyman. Let's see. Danielle's going with Candyman. We got a lot of Candyman people in the chat. You guys are going to have to help out Candyman. I'm going to tell you that. Kenny's going with Hellraiser though. Luna's going with Candyman. Nightfall's going with Candyman. Let's see. Catch up to you guys a little bit here. Russell's going with Candyman. Okay. Friday saying atmosphere is great in both, but Candyman atmosphere is constant.
Yeah,
all
good
right.
point.
Luna saying I don't know why, but Hellraiser just felt thrown together for me. Okay. D going with Candyman. Okay. Let's see. Ronan, I know you love that clip, man. Okay. So look, for me, this is another easy one for me, and you guys have said some good points. You know, I do think that Hellraiser has an interesting feel to it, an atmosphere to it. It's a very it's a dark and dreary one, and by contrast, Candyman, although it has some dark moments to it, as far as the tone of the story, you know, it is brighter. You know what I mean, and it kind of feels like it's consistent from the very beginning all the way through the end. And so I got to go with Candyman on this. It really feels, again, it's this urban legend brought to life, and it feels so real the way that it's presented in the movie. Everything that is a part of it, whether it's you know, the sets, the locations, you know, the things that the characters are doing. Even when Helen is put in the mental hospital, you know, it's like it's just really, it just hits you. And there are some moments in Hellraiser where the atmosphere breaks for me a little bit. You know what I mean? Like by contrast, when Kirsty is in the hospital, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it just felt like it didn't work as well,
Right.
flow as well with the rest of the film. Although it was a cool scene as far as seeing the Cenobites and having that moment and all of that. But anyways, you guys get what I'm saying. I'm gonna go with and for the atmosphere. Okay. Next up, you knew it was gonna have to happen. This is another episode where we have the creator going against himself. So it's Clive Barker versus Clive Barker. The director, now of course, Clive did not direct Candyman, but it is his story. So for the director, Eric, who do you think should get the point and why?
Bernard Rose, Candyman. The reason why is I think he's, and it's no disrespect to Clive, because he gets a lot of good shots in this.
Yes.
I think Bernard just has a little bit more talent for cinematography, the shots he does, and I think what's a director, it's not just behind the camera, he has to inspire the actors, direct them, you know what I mean? And I think we get much better performances out of the Candyman cast than the majority of the Hellraiser cast, and that adds to it. So hands down Candyman.
Okay, how about you, Coriander?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the fact that, you know, what's her name again? Who played Helen? What's her
Virginia
name?
Madsen.
Yes. The fact that she, you know, agreed to get hypnotized for this role, I mean, that to me is kind of crazy because I don't think I'd do that shit. So I don't know. And just how we put the whole movie together, and it's a complicated. Well, he made it not complicated, but it has a lot of pieces. So, and the fact, like how Eric said a little bit early, that it just flows so well. And I mean, yeah, I gotta go with Candyman. Yeah, Bernard.
All right. You know, and again, you know, Clive wrote both stories, but he only directed Hellraiser, and that was his first you know, film. And I think he did a lot of great things. Hellraiser, here's the thing. And some people like different things. Hellraiser is a visual type of movie. You know, it's the visual things that are happening. It's not necessarily based upon story and complicated dialogue and so forth. Whereas Candyman's the opposite. You know, it does have visual cues, but it's much more about the story, about the romance, about the urban legend come to life and so forth. So for that reason, the way I look at it, I've got to go with Bernard on this. And I think that, and you know, and hearing Virginia in interviews and even Tony talk about what he was doing, you know, behind the camera and things that he brought to the table for the film, definitely some cool stuff. And like you said too, Eric, a good point is the way that he utilized the camera. You know, there were a lot of great moments where visually he was like taking you into this world. You know, even in the beginning, like I said earlier, even the opening credits, as soon as the movie comes up, you know, starts, I'm like already like, whoa, you know what I mean? So it's a very well done film. It really, really is. So I've got to go with Bernard on that.
It's an iconic shot. Everyone knows. Like, even if you haven't seen Candyman, because there are some people in the horror community that haven't seen Candyman yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everyone knows, you know, horror community or not, that shot where Helen is walking through that hole in the wall, and she's literally walking out of the mouth of Candyman. You know what I mean? That's like a perfect shot on film.
Yeah. It's
not only
cinematic,
that,
you know.
right, is when Tony had all those bees coming out of his mouth, crawling all over his face. I mean, that's crazy shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Real quick too, Troy also has a channel member anniversary, 2 months. Congrats. Thank you so much, Troy. We appreciate you saying, can I just say this is a great battle. I really enjoy these ones where it's not the big 3 or 4 and biases fall to the wayside. Great stuff, everybody. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about these battles. And for some of you guys that have not seen our previous episodes, like I said, this is like episode 20, I believe, 19 or 20. And, you know, we've covered a lot of movies. One of the best things to me about this concept, and we didn't know, and I definitely didn't know that it would become what it's become, is that it takes us out of favorites, you know, and most times, almost every episode, we have 2 films that we both love, you know, 2 great films, you know. But even that being said, you know, if you have one that's your favorite, you can't just say, well, the director of Hellraiser is better because I love Hellraiser. No, we got to break it down. You know, what about it appealed to you? You know, why was it better? You know, and you got to be honest about it, you know. So that's why I enjoy these episodes, man. It's really cool. It breaks it down so that when you give a point, you have to be honest even against your favorite, you know.
Oh yeah, there's been lots of times when, you know, when we're discussing these films, and we all are going, lots of times, you know, all of us are going in wanting a certain film to win. You know what I mean? We always have our preference, but that's what, you know, because we're on YouTube discussing film, we also have to, even though we love a movie, we can acknowledge its faults. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, look at the films I really enjoy. I always acknowledge its faults because a lot of the time they're bad choices, and that's what I've always said about this Battleworld thing, is it makes it fun because you're forced to possibly go against the movie you're rooting for.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, Event Horizon, Kenny, definitely gave Hellraiser vibes. Yep. No doubt about that. I definitely think it was like that. Let's see. Want to make sure I catch up with you guys. Okay. All right. So let's go to our next category. And that is the mystery. The mystery in these films. Eric, what do you think?
Well, this was kind of an easy street for me because we got to go with Hellraiser because we know the backstory of Candyman. We know he was Daniel Robitaille and tortured and killed for falling in love with a white woman back in those times. You know what I mean? So we know that. We have no fucking clue what is going on with this puzzle box and these demons.
Right?
How did Frank get it? We don't really know why he got it. We know a little bit because he was like into that type of the stuff, but there's almost no explanation in Hellraiser.
Yeah.
So hands down, that gets the point.
All right. Absolutely. How about you, Coriander?
Yeah, obviously, Hellraiser. Yeah, you know, it's like he was looking for that crazy sex shit and he got it, you know, and someone pointed him to, quite the box. And whoever sold it to him, that dude at that, you know, sketchy little,
what is your pleasure?
Whatever. Exactly,
7-Eleven.
man.
That was
right?
7-Eleven in Malaysia. It was a 7-Eleven in Malaysia.
Outside, right? Like
they have everything.
and-
They do.
right? But
Yep.
yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Hellraiser.
Half off on the Slurpees in aisle 5. So
Yeah.
for me,
It's like
for me,
Jay
I
and Silent Bob, right? When they're outside the store.
Yeah.
No.
right. For me, it's got to go to Hellraiser. There's no doubt about that. So again, this is what I'm talking about. You got to kind of be honest with yourself. And the thing about Hellraiser, I mean, it's physicalized in the box itself. I mean, the puzzle box is truly the whole thing a mystery. But you know what I really dig about Hellraiser in that scene when Kirsty first sees the Cenobites and Pinhead is like, we're demons to some, angels to others, we're travelers from other worlds. It's like, what does that mean?
Exactly.
Just tell me that you come from hell and that's going to make me feel a little bit better. What you're telling me is almost scarier. You know what I'm saying? And he said demons to some, angels to others. It's like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
why do they look the
mystery
way
is
they
definitely
look? That's another thing. You know what I mean?
right. Now, granted, as the series went on, we learned some things, which I gotta admit, it was interesting, and I was intrigued at the time when I saw the sequels, but at the same time, I didn't want to know. So who knows? Maybe we'll be doing some more Hellraiser films. Who knows?
Be careful with that. You know what'll happen.
But do you know where my cutoff point is, Eric? You already know. All right, man. Let's see. He always messes with me. All right, next up, we're going to get to the gore effects, practical effects. So, Eric, who are you going with?
They're both really, really good, but gotta go with Hellraiser. Not just with the ripping of the part, of the flesh, because Candyman, he is good with his hook too.
Yes.
But it's just like the simple things are gory too, because when Frank is reborn, that's disgusting. When Julia is taking the people out with the hammer, there's that one guy who gets hit in the face, his teeth are broken and the blood, or just like the gore the blood falling on the wood. You know what I mean? It's used properly.
And she
Gotta
like
go
sucks his
Hellraiser.
fingers. It's like,
Yeah.
ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yep.
So definitely got to go Hellraiser.
All right, man.
Right?
How about you, Coriander?
Oh yeah, definitely Hellraiser for the gore. I mean, Eric said it all. So yeah.
Okay. All right. For me, definitely Gore. And that scene where he's reconstituting himself, that was just fantastic.
Yeah.
This is the type of stuff that we grew up on. It's like, it's golden, right? And I'm so glad
It
that I was
is.
able to experience
'Cause you're
that
getting-
when.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm just saying how the practical effects are like they don't get any better.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
it's just so good. So
Yeah. And
that's all I'm
and what I
saying.
was okay. And what I was saying too is that I mean we experienced that when it came out, man. It was so cool, man, as a kid being introduced to that stuff, and it was just it's groundbreaking, practical effects for sure, but just seeing that on screen, I'd never seen anything quite like that. You know what I mean? And shout out to our good friend Trenchy because that was his choice for scariest movie moments when we had our big event. And I was like, bro, that's a great choice and a great scene, man. And with the music, the music was great too when everything was coming together, his spine changing into his arms and his, it was just great, man. So it's gotta go.
Yeah, the
and he
scream.
screams. That's right. Yep, absolutely. Melissa saying Gore, Candyman. Wow. Nightfall going Hellraiser for Gore. Okay. Danielle saying Candyman. I support my Candyman. Well, we got to be honest though. We got to see that's the whole point of this. We can't just choose favorites, but I get it. Hellraiser is what D is choosing. Russell's going with Candyman. Friday saying Hellraiser, the practical effects are so good and underrated. I absolutely agree. Look, some things are just they are what they are, and there's no doubt that Hellraiser has some fantastic practical effects that were just absolutely amazing for 87. Remember, it's the older film, 5 years older.
Let me also throw out, for Gore, I mean, it's not bloody because it's not people getting ripped apart, but Frank with no skin. is really
Frank
gory.
had no skin,
You know what I mean?
bro.
That's
It's like,
great
come
makeup.
on.
That's fantastic
Yeah.
makeup.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let's go, and Paula also was going with Candyman. Let's go to our next category. Okay, so here we go. Who we're going with? We're going with Helen, or we're going with Kirsty?
Easy,
Eric.
dude.
Easy street, Helen.
Exactly.
She and we're not. We'll take even if we take acting out because Virginia Madsen
Mhm.
is established. This was Ashley Lawrence's first movie. Helen does
That's
a lot
right.
more. You know what I mean? She's there from the
Mhm.
beginning. She's doing this investigative stuff. She
Mhm.
does what she can as she's on the run from the law. You know what I mean? Trying to hide out.
Mhm.
Kirsty, as good as she is, she has a good final confrontation with Pinhead. But in my opinion, that's pretty much all it is for her. You know
It's
what I
too
mean?
easy.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is. You know, so I got to go with Helen,
Okay.
hands down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Corey. Coriander's like answering before I get to her. Okay, Coriander, what's your choice?
Just in case.
Helen.
Here we go.
All
We weren't
right.
sure.
There we go. That's right. Melissa's going with Helen. We got D also going with Helen. Let's see. Danielle's going with Helen. All right. For me, it's got to go to Helen as well. I mean, it's almost it's not even fair. That being said, though, I mean, Kirsty is an underrated final girl, I think, and obviously
yeah.
has multiple appearances in this franchise, which I think her overall helps her versus just this one performance, right? Because, like you said, Eric, she's not in the limelight as much, nowhere near as much as Helen. Helen's from the very beginning all the way to the end.
Yep.
The ending credits is an image of Helen who became a real life myth and legend herself. So it's not necessarily fair, but it is what it is. We're just talking about the female leads. But Virginia Madsen was amazing in her performance. And like you said too, Eric, a good point that you said is the investigative work. You know, she really was trying to figure this thing out. And it was tragic. I was saying that to Coriander when we watched it. You know, I kind of forgotten that it's a very sad movie in a way too, because she was put into this situation by her own, her own self, but it was like there was nothing that she could do. There was nothing.
She should have believed in him.
But see,
She fucked up, man.
Here's the thing, you know. Yes, it's her own choice, but she's just a woman trying to write a paper. And by the end of it, she's on the run from the law. Her best friend's been murdered. A baby's been taken, and she's blamed for it. You know, there's so many. You know, she's she's in a way, in my opinion, just as much of a tragic character as Candyman is.
Yes, it's true. It's very, very true. And of course, you know, like you even alluded to earlier, the whole idea with Trevor, you know what I mean? So her life, even though her life has a lot of good things in it, it also has her own tragedy, romantic tragedy, just like with Candyman. So good points, guys. Good points. Next up, what's your favorite scene? And it's, you know, obviously it's one scene that you choose from either movie. What's your absolute favorite scene?
I've done this every time you do this category. I always go with the first scene pops in my head. We've already talked about it, but Frank's resurrection or rebirth, however you want to talk about it, you know, it's just so disgusting and cool at the same time. The two arms that pop out, you know, I think the spine going into the back of the brain. You know, Coriander mentioned it once he is finally like half back, I guess you'd say half reborn. That scream, the music, it's just a perfectly done scene, you know, knowing what's happening, you know, there's no dialogue or anything, and the practical effects shooting some of the stuff in reverse to help the slime on the brain, it's just fantastic. Going with Hellraiser.
Good point. All right, how about you, Coriander?
Well, for me, it's always when Candyman has Helen in his arms and those damn bees are coming out of his mouth, all over her, you know, almost getting into his eye. And to think that those were real bees, it's like, oh man, no way in hell. So that is like my favorite scene.
Good choice.
Okay. All right. Danielle also going with Bees Out of the Mouth. Russell's going with Candyman killing Helen's boss. All right. Friday saying when Helen appears behind the mirror. Okay. All right. And listen, my favorite scene, this was an easy one for me, but it's literally the parking garage. When I first saw that, I was just like, for Candyman, of course.
Yeah.
When I first saw that, I was just like, whoa, because now you got to remember, both of these films, these iconic villains aren't, in the movies until, at least 30%, 35% into the movies, and Pinhead, he has even less screen time. Well, when Candyman finally shows up after, an imposter and Helen obviously hearing all these stories, and look, man, it's just so iconic. Helen.
Yeah.
It's like, it was like, what? And he's just chilling at the, he's like 8 years away from her. That's how far away he is from her, right? He's just chilling because he knows he's got her, and then of course, when Virginia is hypnotized, and then he just lays it all out. He's walking, and it's like the first time you see Candyman, and he, I'm the writing on the wall, the whisper in the classroom, and all these different things. And it was just great. That's an iconic scene. And I'll never forget the first time I saw that. So I've got to go with Candyman. All right. Next up, let's go to our next category. Let me pull this up here. Okay, let's talk about the finale or the final battle, however you'd want to word it. Eric, what do you think about the ending of these films? Which one is the pick for you?
I'm going with Candyman, and here's why. Hellraiser it's a good finale, but after Frank is taken out, it kind of loses a lot of its steam. She just kind of zaps them; they disappear with the 80s. I like to call it force lightning. You know what I mean? With the Emperor, they just disappear, and then the homeless guy who was eating the crickets earlier turns into a demon dragon, grabs a box, and flies away. It's just kind of a bunch of stuff thrown to the wall. You know what I mean? I'm a huge sucker for a hero's death. You know what I mean?
Right.
The fact that Helen was willing to sacrifice herself to save not just anyone, but a baby in a burning pyre or bonfire. And then again, you're already feeling for her. And we'll go to the acting of how good Virginia Madsen is. You felt her pain when she's crawling out. Her hair's burned off.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The pain on her face. And then, I of course, I like the stinger at the end when she gets revenge on the husband. But it's mainly the pain in her and the fact that she's sacrificing herself for a baby. It's hands down. Gotta go Candyman.
All right. How about you, Coriander?
Oh, yeah. Candyman, definitely. What this lady goes through compared to Christy, oh God, that's too easy.
Okay, all right. For me, I also think with the final battle or finale ending of the film, it's got to go to Candyman because. And Eric, you said something that was really really important too, is that once Frank was ripped apart, and that was a big thing, he finally. He tried everything to get away from these Cenobites, and it backfired on him. And Kirsty was smart, to trick him. And she had a lot of moxie, as a final girl. Like I said, I think she's very underrated as a final girl. Even in discussions I've had myself, I'm putting blame on myself as well. She's very underrated. And watching this film again, because I hadn't seen it in years, made me remember that Ashley Lawrence definitely is underrated. But with Candyman, again, we're seeing a legend come to life in Helen, and also, like you said, the sacrifice, the music, and then of course, even when she's being buried, and all of Cabrini Green comes there, and it's kind of like the respect, right? And you also kind of get a sense of like Candyman, how his legend kind of grew.
Yeah,
right?
She ends up on the damn wall.
Right. And I was about to say, when I saw that, I was just like, wow. So it was like a full circle type of thing. So there's no doubt for me, I gotta go with Candyman on this, man. I just think that everything was put together. It made sense. Whereas, like you said, with Hellraiser, it lost steam after Frank got taken apart. And the part with the homeless man, I mean, I get it. We're crazy. We got weird shit going on, and Clive is Clive, and I love Clive and his ideas. But I was just like, well, what?
Yeah.
What's going on? Are you just bringing the box around to different people? You're going to bring it back to Malaysia at the 7-Eleven? What's going on here?
No, it's gonna. You got to remember that was Q's baby, right? The winged serpent.
Oh, for
that
the love
was
of
its
Jesus!
baby.
Wow.
What is going on here? I don't even know what to say.
Oh, look at me.
I don't even know what to say
stopped
after
the
that.
show.
You did. You really, really did. Okay. All right. So let's go. Let's go to our next category. So Eric, between the two, these iconic classics in horror, you got to choose one. Who are we going with?
Candyman, easy. I like Hellraiser, but I think Clive was trying a little too much. His visuals are great, but a lot of it is just kind of stuff being thrown at the wall, like I said earlier. This, honestly, Candyman, I think is, we've always said on this channel, there's no perfect film. Right. Candyman's pretty damn close from beginning.
Dude, you're taking my line.
Okay,
No.
next Battleworld, I'm last.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so
No.
Coriander, who are you going with?
Don't stop, Eric. Please continue. What are you doing?
All right, Coriander, give us your choice and why.
Oh shit. I mean, yeah, I like Hellraiser, but I have to go with Candyman. So there you go.
Okay.
I already said why she prefers Candyman.
I guess
it
so.
is.
I know.
Because it is. It's like almost. It's like such a the perfect movie, and I love a romantic kind of. It's sadistic, but it's kind of like a love story. Yes, and that's one of my other favorite Bram Stoker's. Yes, I love everything about that movie. So, yeah, we got to have that movie against something, honestly.
All right, well that's a different conversation though, but
yeah,
it's a good
something
one.
that next Battleworld, that and something. So
Coriander says that if you put in Bram Stoker's Dracula, she will make sure she gives the first choice for every category.
There you go. We got our good buddy Steven in the chat. What's up, man?
Hey, Steven.
Saying, hey guys, saying Candyman for the win. All right. Very, very cool. Let's see. And yes, Val, definitely thank you for reminding folks to please make sure to subscribe to Eric's channel. We've got the link in the description as well, but here on the stream. So definitely click that.
Appreciate it.
and give a subscribe to my man. All right. Let's see. Kenny's saying, I feel Candyman tries to be too sophisticated and psychological. Really?
That's what I love about him. He's
I don't
so
think it tries.
smooth.
I think it's successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just so
What
cool
were you
and
saying,
smooth.
Eric?
He's
so
from a
cool.
different time.
He's so cool and smooth.
Well,
to
that's
me,
the point.
he's
Right.
like Lando Calrissian. You know what I mean? With a hook. You know what I mean? You'll do. He's every time he's on screen, you just gravitate to him because he's just that damn cool.
Yeah. Coriander, you made the best point about it. He's from a different time and remember when they were at the dinner and all of the folks were around and Helen and so forth, and they were talking about, he grew up in polite society. So you see, people forget a lot. You got to watch these movies. That's what we have to do. And I know this movie forwards and backwards, but I still watch it for those little details. But he grew up in polite society. So everything about him is from a different time, as far as being mannered and sophisticated and so forth. So it fits his character, and they even say it right there.
Yeah, that's one thing. I don't mean to hog the audio, right? But a lot of people forget. A lot of people think he was a slave. No, he was the son of the slave, and his father also created. He made an invention that made a lot of money, something to do with like shoes or something like that. But he is from that high society type of lifestyle because he was hired by a really, really rich man to paint pictures of his daughter. So he's used to that regal lifestyle. So it makes sense.
That's right. Absolutely. And real quick too, we got Nightfall coming in. $5 super chat saying Candyman is my second, only to Halloween 78 from me. Wow.
Good choice.
All right.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Very cool. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for the super chat too, man. So we've got 5 points that is going to
All right.
Candyman. All right. Still way behind though, man. We're about to count up these points, man. All right. And Steven was saying, Eric, Lando with a hook. I love it. That is a great name for a band. That is
True.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
I'm gonna trademark it right now.
There you go.
Oh,
Troy
shit.
saying this one is close, but I think I'll go Hellraiser. Okay. All right. Eric going with Hellraiser. Okay. Let's see. Ronan going with Hellraiser. Val going with Hellraiser. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Luna going with Candyman. Okay. Cool. Okay. So that's what we've got, guys. So we are going to get ready to count up these points, and this is the last call for any other super chats, and definitely get them in. But Eric and Coriander, I'll have you guys just giving your final thoughts on these two films. This is going to be another interesting one, man. It really, really is going to be.
I'm glad we did this one tonight. I've read both source materials, both short stories. Really, really good. Really, really different when they're on screen. The main reason to watch these films is for the I guess you'd say lesser extent the monsters, because they are very similar. They speak the same way. They feel prim, proper. You know what I mean? And take that prim and properness, and they're just doing these vile, disgusting acts. You know what I mean? So I just love that, how that goes whole 180, what they're doing compared to how they present themselves. Like Pinhead's scary, look scary as hell to look at, you know what I mean? But just his dialogue, that's one thing that's great about Clive Barker. And in all of his stories, like Lord of Illusions, Nightbreed, anything he does, the dialogue with his monsters are always fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see. So what can I say? I love Hellraiser. I think it's a great movie. But yeah, for me, it got pinned up to like me and like what, Eric said, I said, this is like almost a perfect movie, at least in my eyes. So yeah, I just love Candyman, and it's just a great story. And, the acting, Virginia is just so good in it, and yeah, I could go on, but I'm not gonna. So I hope you're done.
Okay.
Are you done?
Well, man, you got to be ready to go, man. You can't be like, come on, man. All right. So real quick, too, we got Eric coming in with a $5 super chat and 5 more for Hellraiser. Wow. All right. Isn't that crazy? Nightfall. And thank you so much, Eric. We really appreciate you, man. Nightfall saying Clive Barker is a genius. All right.
Yeah,
All
fantastic writer.
Very, very cool. Okay.
He
Yeah,
is.
he is. There's no doubt.
I've got a
His
lot of his books. They're really good.
I mean, you got to remember, Candyman was like taken by a bunch of white people, tortured, killed, had his hand ripped, cut off. So you understand why he's around, why he's getting revenge, and why he's doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? And with demons, yeah, they just want your soul. Fuck everything else. So yeah, man.
All right, man. You weren't talking when I was counting, man. So look, let's get to the scores, man. Okay, so this is totally lopsided. There's no doubt about this.
Oh, I bet.
We have obviously starting right off the bat, we had a whole bunch of points to Hellraiser. So again, for you guys, and there's a lot of people in this chat that were voting Candyman, but you guys, you've been outvoted by Jack and Eric. So we have a score of the super chats of 85 to 25 for Hellraiser.
Holy shit.
Panel vote was lopsided the other way because we had a score of 34 to 13.
Oh, wow.
But that being said, the winner for tonight is Hellraiser.
Writing that
Score of
down.
98 to 59 in total. All right, there we go. And listen, let me just say this, and Eric, you keep track of this very well, but when we're talking about the icons, we all know where this could eventually lead to, because you know who's the champ, Eric.
I do.
You know who's the champ. Put respect on his name, man.
His big day was yesterday.
Look, here it is. There he is, the champ. So who knows? Who knows? Pinhead might get a shot. We'll see. Eric's like, yes. All right. Let's see what else. Paula was going with Candyman. Ronan, Candyman's the world's greatest fisherman. Aw. Come on. Candyman's a great film. You guys are crazy. Seriously. It really is a good one. Hellraiser is too, though. Russell saying Michael Myers is the man. He's the champ. He went through the legendary gauntlet to get there, beating Freddy and Jason twice.
Yeah, whatever. He's only going to be there for a little bit. So chill out.
Coriander, I love you to death. You know, me and you, we all love Jason. But let's start. Okay, this is episode 20, right? Let's start with episode 1. Michael Myers has probably got the best comeback because he was getting his ass kicked.
He was.
His first victory was against himself because he had to beat the remake. So that says a lot too. So,
yeah, but it's just we should have done the remakes against
well, we're not
one
done.
another.
This isn't the last episode. There's a logic to this.
One from the 80s versus one from friggin' 2023. There's such a difference. Had to do it.
Well, wait a minute, but we had to do that because there hasn't been a Friday 13th in almost 20 years.
Yeah, well, that's why we should have done the one that's the most recent with, a remake of Halloween. So. Yeah, man.
Maybe
there's many to choose
she's
from.
Still sore. You can tell she's still sore.
But the thing of it is that she loves that.
But
movie,
I love, James Jude as Michael. He is my number 2. So that's all I have to say.
Real quick, Val is happy. Pinhead for the win. All right.
There you go, Coriander. No tears, please.
Okay. There we go.
I'm not shedding any.
Right. Just to catch up to you guys here in the chat. Let's see. Nightfall saying, I love Pinhead, but Candyman more. Glad to see Doug Bradley in the mix for horror icons. Absolutely. Yep. Yes.
We're bringing in others. I got some ideas.
Yeah, it's an idea. Seriously.
Yep.
And thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. Saying happy birthday. It's a few minutes early, but hope you have a good one. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Seriously, we'll be hanging out tomorrow night, having a little party and after Halloween party as well. So definitely check us out tomorrow night, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you guys also want to say this too, I put this out on the community page. Hopefully, especially for you members, you check that out because I post to you guys all the time. It's my easiest way to communicate with you guys. But we're also trying to see, what costumes are out there, costume parties. So definitely, if you have any pictures you'd like to send them to me, or send them to me on IG, or email them, or get in touch with me on the community page. And, maybe we'll have a little costume party contest. So, all right, guys. So this has been a lot of fun. We hope to see you guys tomorrow night, hanging out and so forth. Eric, good job as always. Coriander, good job. I'm glad that we had some fun with this one. I knew we would, and we had these two icons go head to head. Crazy episode, but a lot of these episodes are crazy. So love it. All righty, guys. So we will catch you guys hopefully tomorrow night. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Nightwatch. Peace.
Cheers.
Church.
Thank you.